The Clash of Champions is back. After like a 2 to 3 month wait, I can finally sing "We are the champions, the best, because the peace." I don't know French. The champions. Welcome back to the Champions League fantasy UCL fantasy episode. It's been a while. We have had a lot of competitions that have been played during this period, the respective leagues of each of the clubs, and they just concluded African Cup of Nations. As you can see, I'm still wearing my Nigerian jersey for those that can see me on the video, and yeah, it just concluded a few hours ago, and just within the blink of an eye, Champions League is already back. We have the Valentine's Champions League special around the corner, and instead of showing love to our partners, we have to show love to our Champions League fantasy teams. And basically, I'm here to just tell you guys who or what news you need to know ahead of the Champions League. Teams on form, teams not on so much form. Injury updates for players like Jude Bellingham. Morata might be injured at the moment. We don't know. So guess what? Stay tuned for more. Let me gather up my materials and we'll be right back. Yes, we're back. We're back. So currently we are live on both our YouTube channel. We're going to be posting this on YouTube later, and this will be also recorded for the podcast. As at the time of recording, it is actually 4 minutes to 4. So that's about 4 a.m. in the morning. It's 4 a.m. in the morning here in Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria. I'm on the Monday. I'm not sure why I'm still awake by this time, but it's probably because I have to definitely record a podcast and show you guys who are the players to bring into your team. So I will try as much as possible to not stay too late because I have to rest and go to work as early as possible. Those of you that listen to the podcast, you will know I'm a night person. I work hard during the night because my brain is to like extra function at this period. However, just to not stay for too long, I'm going to put a timer for 25 minutes. So I'll show everyone here. Put a timer for 25 minutes that will keep me on my toes to end this within the speculated time. So how do we start? We have to start quickly by talking about the top results from each of the teams that just finished playing this weekend. But however, before I go to the top results, who are the teams that are qualified? So let's quickly run through our systems and look at the teams that made it through to the next round. Because it seems like most of us have forgotten which team is still available, which team is not going to Champions League, which team has been knocked out. So in case you don't know, um, for Champions League, we have the final 16 teams set, and the features go thus: we have Porto versus FC Porto versus Arsenal, PSG versus Real Sociedad, PSV versus Borussia Dortmund, Copenhagen against Manchester City, um, Napoli versus Barcelona, Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid, Lazio versus Bayern Munich, and RB Leipzig versus Real Madrid. So those are the features going into the round of 16. However, before I start discussing on which of the games are the best games, who are the players on form, it would be nice to go back to who actually played better recently in the weekend. So let's look at the weekend results, and I have a notepad I have designed for that. I'll quickly open it. Yes, I've designed and brought out the schedule of the players that teams that did well during the weekend or from Friday at least. So on Thursday we had Copenhagen who played Molde. Yes, and they won 3-1. Mohamed El scored a brace in that game. So in case you are looking forward to having a Copenhagen player, El might be a good option in your team. He was a good option last time. I remember many of you guys had him. On Friday, Dortmund won their game against Freiburg 3-0 with Maylin getting a brace. And Fulkog, please forgive me, he also scored for Dortmund. I Martin and Jadon Sancho joined on loan to the club, so and they will be available for selection getting into the quarterfinals. So those are the new signings that have joined the club. On Saturday, Man City won 2-0 to Everton against Everton. Erling Haaland returning from a 77-day injury span finally gets his goals actually. So he was like on a good drought for like 77 days according to Premier League, and he's back scoring. A brace for Haaland in the early kickoff on Saturday for Man City, with KDB contributing to the assist as well. Man City are now 10 games in all competitions, 10 wins in all competitions. They've gone 10 wins with 10 wins in all competitions. That is the FA Cup and other competitions they have played. Yeah. So moving on to other games, Real Madrid won Girona 4-0. Jude Bellingham got a brace. Vinicius got a goal and 2 assists. And I think Joselu missed the penalty at the end of the game. But yeah, that was pretty much the result. Cagliari won. Cagliari lost away to Lazio 3-1. Augsburg and Leipzig had to settle for a 2-2 draw. Inter Milan got a 4-2 win in the Serie A race there against Roma. And PSG got 3-1 win against like Lille. However, note that players like Kylian Mbappe and Hakimi were rested in that game, so I believe they are going to be, used fully in the next game when they face Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad, however, did not win their game against Osasuna, losing 1-0 losing 1-0 at home, and Bayern Leverkusen were the ones that stunned everyone as they defeated their fellow title rivals 3-0. Xabi Alonso was going to have a very nice dinner party that Saturday after beating the regular champions Bayern, as Bayern were defeated, yes, 3-0. I've still not seen many of the highlights of this game. I think the only game I followed here was the Real Madrid game against Girona. Yeah. That's big. I didn't even notice. Girona is second on the table. Yeah. So that's the only game I sort of followed. Many of these other games I've not seen them. Okay, I've seen the Man City game also, but I need to like review all this and see the highlights to see who was the best stars there. So moving on to the Sunday games, still on these are the teams still remaining in the Champions League. I'm not talking about Man U that's out. I'm talking about teams among the top 16 that still remain in Champions League. So among those teams, I think is Porto here. I don't think I've proved Porto here, but however, I think Porto did not win their game recently on Thursday or Friday. Okay, Porto did not play. They had their game postponed. Porto did not play on Thursday or Friday when their game was postponed. However, on Sunday, Arsenal won 6-0 with Saka getting a brace, Saliba and Gabriel getting on the score sheet for Arsenal, and also finished with a clean sheet. PSV versus Volendam, it ended 5-1. The Eredivisie League leaders doing very spectacularly in their league, still have about 5 points or so ahead of 5 to 10 points. Sorry, I think it's 10 points ahead of second what is their name now? Feyenoord, my former team, Feyenoord. However, one player that caught my eye was Jordan Tevez, the right wing back, priced at 5 million. I got a goal and 2 assists. More on that later when we get to differentials and others. So, other results that panned out, I quickly rush this. Sevilla got a 1-0 against Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid are now 3 points behind title contenders Barcelona. Milan got a 1-0 win against Napoli. Napoli are now 9th on the table in Serie A, which is far off where they were last year as they won the title. And Barcelona got a 3-3 draw against Granada. Lasmin Yamal got a brace, while Lewandowski got a goal. Currently, Barcelona are 3 points or 10 points off their rivals Real Madrid, and currently third in the La Liga. So yeah, those were the major results I could point out for any of these 6 teams you are seeing on my screen. And yeah, I believe with that in mind, we have to ask ourselves the questions: who are the best players to consider? What games should I target? Because we have to be more proactive. We have to be more vigilant. We have to be more tactful. Who are the best players to target? Who are the best players to target here? So before we get into that again, forgive me, I have to diverge. I just realized I have not spoken on the top players from last time out. So Matchday 6 was one of the best games for many of those that played their limitless wildcard. Not for me though, because if I can recollect clearly, I started Matchday 6 on a very beautiful game week rank of about 471. I think yes, 471. I was feeling offline and flexing what my my points were and how I was doing very fine, and all of a sudden life just happened. I am currently on, if I'm not mistaken, I'm currently on 3,049 thereabouts. So I think one of the major players that did a lot of damage to my rank was definitely Galino, who got 2 goals and 2 assists. Yes, 3,490. That's my current rank. Thanks to Galino, who as I said, got 2 goals to as if I did not have in my team. Then I captained Calvin Stengs, who did not start the game, or rather played. I think okay, started the game. Sorry, but he played just about, I don't know, 54 minutes and was subbed off. It's all right. It's okay. Anyways, I'm still on 442 points, and I believe my rank is still better than most, so I will be able to work on that. And yeah, so back to my question: what are the best features to target? What are the best teams to go forward for? Number one team I would love to target would be Arsenal. Arsenal are one of my best teams to target. They have resurrected their form recently. A 2-1, 3-1 win against Liverpool, a 6-0 win against West Ham. Arsenal are really hungry and looking forward to going far and getting trophies and getting silverwares. However, I will not talk about Arsenal in the long term, but for now, they look good on paper. They look good on paper to get it done. And if I want to bring in Arsenal players, I'll just bring in the obvious picks, yeah, and that will be around Bukayo Saka. That will be around probably Odegaard, Martinelli. Trossard is also a good option. He has helped us once in a while in what do you call it, in our previous games. So Trossard is also a good option if he starts. If we get news he's going to start, why not? And where else? The defenders, Saliba, White, Gabriel. Those are the players I will be targeting. More of Gabriel and Saliba because they do better from set pieces and tend to get involved with the goals. So yes, those are the players I would like to target. So Arsenal one. Looking at the schedule again, PSV. PSV have a clear path. I think Real Sociedad losing their last league game is not going to do them a lot of solid because the French giants will not want to lose at home to rest with that. So see that even though they did well in the group stages, they have good players. We'll not forget all the stars. What is this guy now? Mendes. We'll not forget Brian Mendes that got 3 goals in his first 3 games in Champions League. We'll not forget Alec Remiro, who has about 3 or 4 clean sheets for them in the group D also that they were in. So we'll not forget them. But PSG really fought to finish out of Group F in the final days of the group against the likes of AC Milan, Dortmund, and I think Newcastle. So I think it's gone after resting Hakimi, after resting what is his name now, Kylian Mbappe. They are definitely favorites to get this game done. Looking at the schedule though, who is going to play this midweek? Let me look at the schedule. Looking at the schedule. Okay, looking at the schedule here. Okay, on Tuesday, that is next tomorrow, or tomorrow rather, since this is a Monday. Tomorrow we have Leipzig playing Real Madrid first, so we want to see some early lineups for probably one of these teams: Leipzig, Real Madrid, and Copenhagen versus Man City. So, good news: if you are aiming for 3 Man City players against Copenhagen, which I was going to talk about, we have the early lineups for them. You understand? We have the early lines for them. You can bring in Man City players. You can bring in Haaland, KDB, and I've even forgot to mention this. We actually have an additional 5 million added to our budget. So instead of us working with 100 million budget that we have, used over the period of 6 weeks or so, 6 match days in Champions League, we have an extra 5 million that's been added, and also additional extra like a wild card, unlimited sort of a limited wildcard we can do temporarily for now, so we can bring in best players. So from players or teams to target: Man City, Arsenal. For Man City, Haaland, Foden, KDB. Probably not much of their defense because City's defense is quite shaky once in a while, but The attack, yes, you can get in, I don't know, 3 or 4 attackers. Alvarez is also an option. If I let me not forget. For the other game, the early game, the Real Madrid versus Leipzig, uh, Jude Bellingham is out. I forgot to mention that, but I'll get that into that later. Jude Bellingham is out, so that means we need to get more Vinicius. We need to get maybe Lunin in goal, who will be starting ahead of the lone keeper from Barcelona, from Chelsea, Kepa. We'll probably want to get and Vinicius. I said Vinicius, Rodrigo rather, and probably any of their midfielders, Kamavinga. I think we have more the rules by now. We can make more than we can bring more than 3 players from a team. I think we can bring about 4 players. I will have to revise that later. We can bring about 4 players in our teams by this stage. So yeah, so those are the major teams to target. Maybe PSG, Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is more promising option. I like PSV game coming up the following week against Dortmund. I'd love to see how stand their ground and at least get a win in front of Dortmund. I was going to advise against not getting Halle. However, with the African Cup of Nations being done today, that is the 11th or 12th or so of the month, and Halle playing next week, he'll definitely be back. So you can still consider him as an option. But I don't think Dortmund start him regularly, so just ignore for now. And yeah, Inter players as well. Inter players, Lautaro Martinez. In fact, give me a minute. Let me quickly check. What the Inter played 4-2 recently, and I wanted to just revise the game and see who were the top scorers, because I have not been following a lot of league action thanks to African Cup of Nations. Okay, Lautaro Martinez is fit and playing. So if I'm looking at this team properly, I can see that Thuram scored. Two of the defenders, Bastoni and Asebi, scored. Then there was an own goal for Angelino. So I mean, the regular players to target will definitely be Lautaro Martinez or Hakan Chanoglu, because he's on penalties ahead of Lautaro Martinez whenever he's on the pitch. So, and yeah, those are the major teams I want to target. However, I am working against time and I don't want to sleep here. I have 10 minutes left. I've not talked about my final team. I've not even talked about captains or differentials. So to save myself time, the Champions League writers, they have managed to occupy or write about players to target and top picks and top differentials. So I'll probably just retweet it later on my page for you to check it out. So let's look at their options for top picks and potential differentials. So looking at the options quickly, popular pick here, Jan Sommer is recommended against Atletico Madrid, a highly courted goalkeeper from the onset, giving Inter clean sheets. Selected by only 29%. Under Inzaghi, Inter are very difficult to score, and I've not considered in each of their last 4 games in all competitions. So you can see very good right up there. Well done, guys. So that's a keeper you can select, and Sommer in goal. Potential defender in goal. Kobel of Dortmund is also mentioned as an option there, with priced I think 5 million and owned about 4% of the games. Yeah, so that's a differential pick. For defenders, popular pick, Yao Cancelo, 6.1 million versus Napoli. Is tipped to be the one that will get the points for Barcelona. He goes forward a lot, he scores, he shoots, he assists. So I can see why he's recommended. Potential differential here is Zubeldia playing against PSG. He has about 1% ownership and he has a good recovery rate. Personally, I'll not recommend him, but I'll probably recommend Jordan Teze. Jordan Teze in this aspect. Jordan Teze playing against Borussia Dortmund, and yeah, I prefer him. I prefer him as a differential. What's his ownership now? I'm not too certain. I'll probably need to check on that later. What is ownership? I'm not certain. I'll check on that later. So yes, so that's the player I plan on bringing in as a differential. So looking at the other differentials they called popular picks. Popular picks, Jude Bellingham, differential. KDB is a differential because he has 3% ownership. Yes, pretty much okay. I agree with that. Jude is a popular pick, however, he's injured, so Now talking about injuries, you guys keep making me forget. I just remembered injuries. Talking about injuries, we have two injury updates. And I want to mention that now. For injury updates, the one that is popular of late is Jude. Bellingham has been diagnosed with a high grade sprain in his ankle, and after results came out, it was expected that Jude be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Jude will be out for 2 to 3 weeks, and I posted this on my Twitter account a few hours ago, like yesterday. So he's out for 2 3 weeks. That means he'll miss about 4 games for Real Madrid, but he's expected to be back for the second leg against Leipzig. So that's the update for Real Madrid. We also have some out players that are out that have serious injuries, like Alaba of Real Madrid got an ACL injury. That applies to Courtois, Militao, Rudiger, and now Bellingham. They are all out. They didn't travel with the squad to face Leipzig in Germany. So, and we have some expected lineups that will be there to face Real Madrid. Lunin in goal, Cavaya, Chouameni, Nacho Mendy, the midfield Valverde, Camavinga, Cruz, middle replacing Bellingham with Brahim Diaz, then Rodrigo and Vinicius. Then some other pretty lineups too. I have one for Lazio versus Bayern from Kika at Aimai Saman. And we have Kane, Musalia, Mula, Sani, Goretzka, Kimmich, Guerrero, Eric Dyer, Jimmy Kim, I can't pronounce his full name. Kim, Mazraoui, and Neuer in goal, and some other players from Lazio as well, Immobile, Provedel, and so on and so forth. I will post on this later during the day to tell you about injury updates and player lineups. Also on injury updates, Morata was injured according to Atleti Universe. Morata was injured and he was crying on the bench and later walked down the dressing room. However, update seems to show that he left the stadium limping but without crutches. When is Atletico Madrid playing? When is Atletico Madrid playing their game? Is it this weekend? Is it this midweek or upper midweek? Okay, it's upper midweek against Inter. Will it be ready before time? We will need to see updates from the manager. I think there was a complaint from what is the name of the manager now, the boss, Diego Simeone, that they have played too many games. We still have the Champions League, the Copa del Rey, and we have to be among top four. And if I'm not mistaken, going to Atletico Madrid right now on the SofaScore, you can see in their last two games they have not won their last two games. Not that this indicates that they're not on form per se, because they had like five. There were four wins in five before the last two games, but it shows that there's fatigue and stress coming into their players, and probably they'll need to work on it when they face La Palmas next weekend to improve on form. So that's a little bit of injury update. I don't know if I've not covered anything. I've talked about the results from last weekend. I've talked about injury updates. I've talked about the announcement of players, the extra money we have, and the extra funds. It's time for. I've not finished my differentials, so I'll do differentials, captain picks, and my team. What my team might look like. Differential captain picks and what my team might look like. So, but let's still go back to the article, right? So KDB is a differential. I think Foden might be a differential. I'm not sure what his price is right now. So let me just quickly scroll down to Man City. Yes, Man City. Foden should be priced at around I think 8.1, ownership 11%. Roughly differential, not really though, but could qualify as one. Maybe probably if you captain him. So yes, I think Foden and KDB will be differentials for me in this category. Or KDB, more of KDB though. Harry Kane popular pick for the forwards according to this article. Very good. Yes, Harry Kane. Any of Harry Kane or Mbappe are popular picks. While differential here will be Evan Nielsen against Arsenal. So probably I'll go for an Arsenal attacker. If I don't know if what is his name now? Gabriel Jesus will be back. I need to see more injury updates on Arsenal. I didn't see what the manager said about Gabriel Jesus. So I need to know if he's going to be out for the midweek game coming up for Arsenal. Arsenal is going to play Porto when? I think they're going to play Porto up next week. Yes, they're going to play Porto on Wednesday next week. So I've read out the teams that qualify ever. I've not read out the days they are facing each other. So on this, that's next tomorrow. I have 2 minutes left. Next tomorrow or tomorrow that is Wednesday, Tuesday. Leipzig, Real Madrid, Copenhagen, Man City. On Wednesday, Lazio versus Bayern, and PSG versus Real Sociedad. That's on Wednesday. Then on upper week Tuesday, we have PSV versus Dortmund, Inter versus Atletico Madrid. Then on 21st, we have Porto versus Arsenal and Napoli versus Barcelona. Now, please don't forget that we actually have opportunity to rotate our captains in Champions League fantasy. This is not AFCON fantasy. So we can rotate our captaincy. So I saw a question about, can I rotate my captains in between the weeks? And I said yes, you can rotate your captain from Tuesday on 13th to Wednesday. Let's say you captained Haaland, he blanked on Tuesday. You can captain Mbappe on Wednesday. So that's the example. And you can do the same for Tuesday next the upper week and so on and so forth. But who are our top captains? Who are our top captains? With Jude being announced as being out for about 2 3 weeks. Top captains on paper here is it's a bit easier because we don't need to rely on Mr. Reliable every time now. We need to find the options. And I think I'll say Vinicius is a good captain to start with against Leipzig. By Real Madrid are on better form than many teams in worldwide because I don't know when last did they even lose a game. Real Madrid have been on much better form. You can see they have not lost a game in about in their last 10 or so. Their last 10, they have only lost one game in their last 10 games. So Vinicius back helps boost their ranks, and he's one of the top captains for me. It's especially with Bellingham out. So Vinicius, any Haaland is a good option also facing Copenhagen. Please, if in case you didn't know, Copenhagen have just made their first return. I saw it start somewhere. I think I bookmarked it. Let me quickly just run down and read it. Copenhagen qualification. I have 30 seconds left. I'll just end this timer. Copenhagen made an extraordinary landmark during the group stages. And what did I bookmark it I want to share with you guys? So Copenhagen have made it to the round of 16 for the first time in 13 years. So, and this is a team that's going to face Man City, who for some reason also set their own record. And where is Man City now? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, Man City have won all six of their group stages for the first time in the club history. So Man City went unbeaten with Real Madrid. I think Man City and Real Madrid were the only teams that did not lose a game during the group stages. Talking about records of group stages, Bayern have now created a record of 40 consecutive unbeaten games in the group stages, and thanks to no more group games after this. In case you don't know, there is no more group A, B, C, D anymore after this Champions League. The next format is in a league format. Bayern are going to literally hold the unbeaten record of all time in group stage matches because there will never be a group format anymore. Anyways, back to the drawing board. Captaincies. So Vinicius, top captain number 1. Haaland, number 2. Any of KDB or Foden can be differentials, but Haaland number 2. Top captaincies. Looking at the schedule here, I would say even though Bayern did not do well recently in their last game against Leverkusen, I would say Mr. Consistent himself, Harry Kane, would definitely have to improve, and his team have to improve. So Harry Kane is a good option on Wednesday. Differential could be Musalia, differential could be Leroy Sané. Those are also good options. But if you want to just go safe and go with the popular pick, Harry Kane, and on that same day, if you don't want to go for Kane, you can go for PSG's frontman, Kylian Mbappe. So this is me now mentioning captains. Day 1, because we have 4 days now, 4 days in one game week. Day 1, any of Haaland and Vinicius is a good captain. Day 2, any of Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe is a good captain. Day 3, any of Day 3 most likely an Inter player. I'm not going to really tip Morata for now because it's tough, and I think Madrid have been struggling recently. Griezmann is still a good option though. Griezmann is still a good option though. But I'll probably tip more of Lautaro Martinez and any of the defenders at this point because they do well defensively and they might keep a clean sheet at home against Atletico Madrid. And if I want to go for the Dortmund game, probably Karim Adeyemi is a good option against PSV, but I'll tip PSV to win their home game. While for the last game, the Arsenal players, all the Arsenal players are good options. Saka, Martinelli, even Saliba self is a good option to captain. While for the last game, I think this is one of the most easy games on paper, but looks difficult. Napoli versus Barcelona. Napoli lost their most recent game against Milan. That was the big game they had to win. They did not win that game, and they're ninth in the table. Barcelona too are not really on form per se. Their manager is about to leave at the end of the season. However, compared to Napoli, I think I know where to side. However, home advantage might help Napoli. But I'm not sure I'll captain someone here. But if I want to captain someone, I will probably go for the Barcelona attackers. Maybe Lewandowski or, I don't know, Ferran Torres if he starts in that game. So, but the major captains here to target are those that play on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday 13th, and on Valentine's Day, that's 14th. So, yeah, I believe I'm done with the talking, and I've spent more than my 25 minutes. So let's see if we can wrap this up in another extra 3 minutes. So what will my team look like? But one more thing. I always feel like I forgot something. One more thing. Let's review the stats from the group games. Let's review the stats from the group games because I feel like we need to talk about who are the top scorers, who are the people that did well for each team, and let's just review players to get in for our teams based on Champions League record. So in Champions League, our top scorer here is Haaland, Griezmann, Rasmus Højlund is out, so I'll ignore him, and Morata. So we have 3 players on 5 goals as the major top scorers in the Champions League. And that's it for now. Evan Nielsen is on 4 goals, Galino is on 4 goals, Gabriel Jesus is on 4 goals, Alvarez on 4 goals. Openda is also still in the Champions League, so he's on 4 goals as well. He's got a brace, so I think against Man City, I think he's got a hat trick safe. A brace, it was a brace against Man City. Erling Haaland, sorry, I say Haaland. Harry Kane is on 4 goals, Jude Bellingham is on 4 goals, Kylian Mbappe is on 3 goals, Rodrigo is on 3 goals. La Reja is on 3 goals. He's suspended. This player is suspended. He got a red card or so. Sorry, a third yellow card and he's suspended. Ferran Torres on 3 goals. Yafai is on 3 goals. Immobile on 3 goals. Foden on 3 goals. Saka on 3 goals, and so on and so forth. The list goes on down to Brias Mendes and so on and so forth. So that is for the attack. For defense, clean sheets. Let's go to goalkeeping. Let's see who made the most saves, who has the most clean sheets, and okay. Many of the players are out. Okay, for saves, and we have Donnarumma with 21 saves and he has about 2 clean sheets. In terms of clean sheets, I would say the best performer here is what Inter Milan's keeper also, Jan Sommer. I think Jan Sommer has the most clean sheets also. I'll check later. So anyways, I can't see it right now and I have little time. So just for goals, just for knowledge 6, for goals we have Griezmann, Haaland, Morata, who are on 5 goals, and they might want to increase their goal tally going forward. So let's look at our teams quickly and shut down this podcast. And I need to rest. It's almost 4:30. Started before 4, so I need to end this and go to bed. I wish you guys a beautiful match day ahead. So let's look at my team. We have unlimited wildcard, right? So you don't need to bother about your chips for now. Many of us have used our chips, but if you haven't, there's no need to bother about it. You have unlimited, like a free wildcard to use. So let's look at our teams. So this is me randomly selecting the players I would love to have from scratch in my team. So as I said, team to target. I've already mentioned Arsenal and I've mentioned Man City. So let's get in some City players. Going to Man City. Let's get in some City players. Man City against Copenhagen. Copenhagen for the first time are making it to the round of 16, 13 years. We need more City players. That extra 5 million that was given to us, like you can see it here on my screen. I have 106.5. It's going to be useful because I want to get KDB. So KDB comes in. Hopefully, we'll see the lineup. Fingers crossed he starts. If he doesn't start, I can take him out easily. KDB and Foden are good options to join Erling Haaland up front. So that's my three City. I'm not touching any of City's defenders. I don't need them. So that boils me down to 76.2 million. I need an Arsenal player. Let's go and get an Arsenal player quickly in our teams. Arsenal, probably Bukayo Saka is a major person there. He's on penalties. It will be pricey, 9.8, but let's work around it. Then an Arsenal defender is definitely needed. These guys are the one punishing me in FPL. So Gabriel or Saliba, Gabriel or Saliba. Let's go with Gabriel. Gabriel. So now we've picked the major ballers. Let's try and find in some cheap options. I think PSV Jordan Teze scored a goal and had 2 assists in last game, but that was against Voiledam. The quality in the league is different, but I would not mind at least having a cheap-ish option in my team. So let's put him there for now. I will probably start him. Akimi against Real Sociedad is a good option, so I'll bring him back. Harry Kane. Okay, to make it easy for me, let's get a Real Sociedad striker like Takefisa Kubo, who is quite cheap to make funds for either Kane or Kylian Mbappe up front. So yeah, Takefisa Kubo. Where's Kubo? Attack. Kubo, yes, Kubo fits in that 5 million slot, but yeah, Kubo does fit in that slot. I will not consider any other player there. Then I can get Kane or PSG attackers. That's Kylian Mbappe. So, Kane is a much more safe option. But even though Mbappe is a good option as well, I'll probably go with Harry Kane. So, there's Harry Kane, Inter, Bayern. Harry Kane might be a placeholder though, but I like his price, 10 million. Harry Kane, let him just come in and stay. So we're now left with 34.2 million to fit in these boxes here. So let me see what I can do. Looking at the schedule, let's look at the schedule again. Dortmund, PSG, PSV. I can get a third Man City player, right? I can get a third Man City player, but I've not touched Real Madrid. This is going to be tough. I talked about Vinicius Junior. I don't even have him. Okay, let's get a Madrid midfielder. Let's get a Madrid midfielder for now. Let's get a Madrid midfielders. I need more cheap midfielders. I really need more cheap midfielders. Let's get a Madrid midfielder. So Madrid midfielder Camavinga. Let's just put him as a placeholder for now. I'll figure it out later. Camavinga and who? Who else? Okay, yes, I remember. Is he fit? Is he fit though? Emery. How did I even forget him? Emery of PSG. He did very well during the group stages. I think he had about 3 or 4 assists. He's one of those players I was recommending every time, but I never found a way to get him in my team. Probably this time to get him in. Let's look. I think when PSG won recently against Lille, I don't know. I'm not sure he started though. That's why I'm here. PSG. Okay. He didn't start. Is he available though? Okay, he was on the bench. Was rested. Okay. Let's just wait for some team news, right? But for now, place order as well. PSG, Paris. Let's bring Zaire Emery there. He's a good selection for his price. It's on 5.3 now. I thought it was like 5M before. All right. So I have about 22.9 million. So therefore, let's go and get Inter skipper. Jan Sommer comes in, and who else? Let's put Alec Remiro, the cheap 4.1 now. Also, Real Sociedad keeper as well. He's not going to start for me anyways. So, I might start him though. It's good to have rotating goalkeepers in Champions League, and Jan Sommer doesn't play till 28th or so. I'll come back there. So 14.3 million. Let's see. Inter. I'm tempted to drop Haaland for Vinicius. It's call me crazy, but I am tempted. Let me just play around that for a while. Let's see. Let's see. How much is Vinicius? How much is Vinicius? Okay. Vinicius 11.1, Haaland 11.7. Let me see if I can get Real Madrid's goalie, the cheap one. That is Lunin, 4.7. Put Lunin there. I still have 14.3 here. I'm not sure. Anyways, so I'm just giving you guys a rough selection of what my team look like. I'm not even sure if this will be the final team. Okay, let's see. One or two more touches, and I'm done with this podcast. Bayern, Bayern's defender Mazraoui, yes, and I still have 8 million. I can still get in more players now. I can get another City defender. Where's Man City? I don't know. Man City. Pep is very funny. I think I like Vadio recently. I like the way he's been playing for them. And there's this FPL Man City fan. What's his name again now? I can't remember. There are many Man City connects out there. I'll check for his name. So it's not like I didn't give a shout out to him. I'll check for his name. And what is his name again? His name is. We're supposed to do a project together, but I don't know. For some reason, Alex, yes. Alex, that's Folex Man City, yes. He's a Vadio fan. So let's see, we get him Vadio. So that is like. I might have to drop Kane. I hate to say, but Kane is not really important in my team. I need Haaland more than Kane, and we can get him more than 3 selections. So yeah, we can get in 3 selections, more than 3 selections. I still have 1.7 in the bank with this team I created. So I can even upgrade the Emery, I can upgrade Kamavinga, I can get in another. Let's say I upgrade Kamavinga to. Let's go to Arsenal. Since I said we're getting more Arsenal players, right? I'll upgrade him to Martinelli or Trossard. I'm not sure. Probably Trossard, Arsenal. So let's go to Arsenal. How much is Trossard? Trossard is 7.6. Kamavinga can be upgraded to Trossard. Perfect team. Perfect team. Perfect team. Perfect team. Yeah, this is a perfect team. This is actually a perfect team going to the round of 16. The round of 16. Like, this is the perfect team. To me personally, I have no grudges against this team. And I'm going to actually just save it for now. And so if you want to copy me, this is everything you need to know. If you are stayed yet till now, well done. I've definitely crossed my 30 minutes mark I wanted to stay. But this is the team I'm going with for now. And I've made 13 transfers recently. So I mean, we can still. It's a wild card, right? Right, it's an unlimited wild card. I can still come back and make changes based on news. Who got injured, who got suspended. So yeah, so this is what the team looks like for now. This is what the team looks like for now. I'm glad you stayed here up to now. I'm sorry if I wasted your time. I hope I didn't. And I think about 40 minutes in. I'm about 40 minutes in. I need to end this. Oh my god, I'm close to an hour in, close to 45 minutes. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Have a beautiful match day ahead. If you have any questions concerning your team, you know where to reach me. I'm the FPL Manual on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll get to answer your questions. This is what my draft team is looking like for match day 7, and I wish you guys the best of luck. May your arrows be green. Bye for now. Ciao.